Hello and welcome back. My name is Tiina, and for me it's the very first time to be at the World Usability Day conference. But for the person sitting next to me, it must be the 11th year, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
So welcome, Hegle Sarapuu. I'm sure that very many people in our audience know Hegle and what she does, what's her background. But there are also many newbies like myself in the community. The community is growing rapidly. So maybe Hegle, you can go back in time and tell me a little bit about how it started, that you ended up at this field in the first place, and maybe also if you can remember the first conference also about this.
Well, I think with anything nice and cool, there was kind of a bit of luck involved probably, because before I was really technical person, and it happened that I went to work for help desk, and of course working on a help desk, you see all those bad things happen to people. They think that they are, it's their fault that nothing is working, but it wasn't, and I felt so bad because it was misunderstanding most of the times. And then I started to think that there should be correct way or good way of create user interfaces so that people can really truly find it easy to use, and they don't have to call to help desk most of the times. And then I started to research, and it came out in the world it's really old discipline already, even though in Estonia we didn't do anything about that. And so it went, and when I got my hands on some of the interfaces, software interfaces, then I started to use those things I have learned. And here we are. First Usability Day. It was 2008, if I remember it correctly. And it was really small event. There was around 40 persons. We knew most of them. And it was kind of first celebration of the World Usability Day. But it was also the event where it was so hard to find anyone talk about anything regarding usability, because in Estonia it was so new, and then there was a couple of excellent designers, graphical designers, as now they are of course moved to usability and then user experience design, but at the time they were graphical designers, and we had those really simple exercises and simple truths to say, and as the room was really small and we didn't really know how many people will come, there was some people who were left behind the door. So next year it was really popular suddenly, because nobody wanted to be left out. So I guess it was kind of a small amount of luck involved. We didn't plan it, definitely. Now I know that works, but we didn't plan it, so.
Let's hop into today. How are you feeling today? How is the vibe? And,
This is amazing. You know, all those excellent people, all this knowledge. Today we definitely see that the area is so wide. There's so many different subjects in the same area. And that makes this, it makes it so that you're never going to get bored. You don't want to change the area of working, you just add new technology, you add some new ways of working maybe, you try those things out. And even though, if you manage somehow, I'm sure you cannot, but if you manage to try all those different methods and technologies, there's still unique questions, unique needs from the companies, the unique reasons why you do those things. So it's endless possibilities, and this conference right now shows it clearly, because there's not only interactions designers on the audience, and also those speeches of all those different aspects of the same thing. So I found it amazing. I feel so good.
And what are you looking forward to the most from the second part of today's presentations?
Well, I think they're all really interesting. I think all of those speeches have this at least one or two things to put pressure on, kind of like. But of course, I mean, all of the speakers are really good speakers as well. But I know that the after party is going to be excellent. and of course, I mean, don't want to raise anyone to be more special, but I assure you, all those speeches are really nice fun.
They are. But I'm not going to let you go networking just yet. Let's also look back at this last year in Estonia, and like service design in general. How have we in Estonia, how have our e-services and the usability field developed? But can you maybe even bring out a few projects that you would remember from this year?
Well, I think the field changes so that we don't really strictly speak about digital environments or digital touchpoints anymore. I think this is great because as a human being, I am surrounded of the services, like not just technical ones, but human services. And in a way, we have been like cut some corners, and then we have left out some people from our digital world, but also our physical services are not getting necessarily better because of it. So we concentrate a lot digital work, but we're forgetting that the service was made for some reason, and it doesn't matter in which channel we're providing it. So I think, and I hope, and I see that a bit, but I hope that we're going to involve more people. We think more about accessibility, and we think more about those audiences that are not our main biggest audience, like elderly people. We say like, okay, they don't care about those digital services. They do, but this word is so hostile was them. We haven't designed anything actually for them.
So accessibility, it's not just a buzzword. So it's really one of the hottest topics right now.
That's definitely one of them. The other is service design. I don't know if it's a hot topic, but I think definitely we should move towards entire service process, not just one or two touch points. So we should think it like wider, and we should definitely understand better how our things we're providing, like services, how they're really going to fit into personal area, into person's life. So let's agree that we're not just creating services and force people to use them, but let's find out a way how we can really benefit people, how they feel better with the service. So we don't go and change their lives, we just go and then fit into their lives. That would be better.
Very well. Then how do you feel is the community coming along and developing? As I already mentioned, I can see that it's growing all the time. And now we have those programs for years already in Tallinn University, in Academy of Arts, the master programs. UX design is really...
There's always someone who is new to the area and they need to go and start from scratch. And that's totally okay. I mean, this is like society, it changes. as like humankind, it changes over time. But I think community comes along really well. I think it's less and less that someone says that user is stupid. I like that because it's a maturity model, like this difference in between level 0 and 1. So we're getting into 1 or even second level. I also see that that people are like do usability tests more. So that I really love.
And do you also feel that designers and web developers and like the different disciplines have more communication and better
Absolutely.
Understanding of the topics
Absolutely,
overall?
and it gets better.
Very good. So thank you so much for Hegle, and
You're welcome.
you can go to lunch, network, and I'll see you at the great after party.
Excellent, thank you.